Venus, the goddess of love. Venus is the heart. She's the deity of love, art, sensual pleasures, fertility, relationships, friendships, the feminine frequency of fortune. And she is embarking on her descent down into the underworld as an evening star first. Then she's gone retrograde, and then she will disappear in the rays of the sun, descend into the underworld, come back up as a morning star, and then complete her retrograde cycle. And it's a 40-day cycle. So it's equivalent to the amount of time that Jesus spent fasting and on his journey of temptation, of facing temptations and turning down the 7 deadly sins. So this length of time coincides with that. And collectively, Venus is a reflection of our heart, our beauty, our value, our self-worth, our net worth, both inner and outer. She's a reflection of the divine feminine aspects within us. And if Venus is your Hamilton, you are literally a small copy of Venus. Whatever she's doing, you're doing. So if you have had a personal consultation with me, you know which planet is your Almutin, and you know how important paying attention to just that one and only planet as your mirror can give great insight, deep meaning, and connection into your evolutionary journey every step of the way. So if you are interested in knowing more about me, my name is Tammy Antoinette. You can go to thestarqueen.com, and I will leave the links below in the description. And to get more videos like this, to be alerted as soon as I post, and keep you up to date about the astrological happenings in the Babylonian fixed chart, I invite you to click on the bell icon below and subscribe. And I am a sidereal astrologer. I look at the sky as it is, as we see it, standing outside with both feet on the ground and looking at the real sky astronomically. So if you'd like to know more about this type of astrology that I practice, you can watch my video titled, "What is Ancient Sidereal Astrology?" So back to Venus. She is in her current evening star phase right now as Aphrodite in the Greek texts, and she is Ishtar of Uruk in the ancient Egypt and Babylonian texts. And her retrograde journey begins July 22nd, and then she goes back direct as a morning star September 3rd. So I am going to clue you in as to how to handle this pivotal time, this transformative time, how to best make use of it. And so you can get the most out of it, and you can feel like you've gained wisdom and knowledge and blessings from the journey rather than looking back and having regrets. So in her current phase right now, she's an evening star. She's goes retrograde. And then so this is her beginning of her descent through basically a portal of possibilities and a portal of temptations in the areas of life that she rules over, or whenever you're born, depending on how the stars were all aligned at the moment when you took your first breath, she rules a different part of your life too. And there's different ways that you can handle this energy to get the most out of it for your own evolution. So she's embarking on the part of her journey. This retrograde journey brings her great wisdom, knowledge, and healing, so she can prepare for her new cycle ahead. And this is a reflection of what we're doing collectively, especially those of us who are women, or those who are in the arts or in any of the the beauty industries, the arts. Yeah, so 40 days, Venus is asking us to reflect and honestly answer some questions from the heart. So are your values in line with your potentiality? And are you a living embodiment of what you desire from your heart? Or are you giving in to the temptations of instant gratification in order to avoid something? So what in these Venusian areas of life and for some in your entire being needs to be reviewed, integrated, revised, and then put into action in the proper seat of evolutionary power. So it's a time, during this time period, it's a time when past lovers, friends, and other relationships or current relationship issues can come up for review and so that you can integrate their teachings. And it's not a time to begin a new relationship. It's not a time to begin a new partnership agreement, such as a marriage, a new partnership living situation, a business contract, if you want it to be harmonious long-term. So if you do somehow get tied up in a new agreement like this, then just remember that it's for your learning and it's for you to gain knowledge and wisdom. If you want to use this knowledge that astrology is presenting to you for your benefit, then you want to put the knowledge into action, and you might want to say, well, this is, you might want to stick to what you want. If there's some kind of a clear picture of what you want for your life, then I would hold out and wait until Venus is visible and Venus is moving direct after September 3rd in order to create any of these new arrangements. And it's also a time for reviewing finances and business relationships. So take your time, be diplomatic and reasonable, and wait until Venus is visible and direct as a morning star before putting any new plans that you've been revising into action. And so this is a time also to be very mindful with any indulgent spending, any indulgences or any kind of like buying new art or new types of clothing, or I would wait for any new beauty transformations or trends, like a completely new hairstyle or something like that, because any of these things, new partnerships, any of these things, you may completely change your mind about such things, about these investments when Venus turns direct. So it's a good time to find, it's a good time to find really good deals on items of beauty, which are equally as useful as they are beautiful, such as secondhand clothing, secondhand furnishings, things like that, because people will be purging luxurious items and pricing them well below their value. So it's a good time to find anything secondhand or really good deals, good sales. Yeah, like 75% off sales. I saw one today. It was beautiful from BCBG, 75% off. So that's Venus retrograde. So Venus will become invisible, descending into the underworld on or around August 2nd. So this is when she goes into the rays of the sun. We cannot see her. She's no longer to be seen in the early evening sky. She's descended into the rays of the sun, and she becomes Persephone, or Ishara, if you're familiar with the ancient texts, or if you would like to read more up on those. So she goes through this cycle where she goes into the underworld to basically, she's stripped down naked. There are different stories. Ishara was stripped down naked by her sister. Persephone was captured and abducted by the god of the underworld. So, and she became queen of the underworld. They became blessed. She gained wisdom and knowledge, and she was crowned, and she earned her crown. So this is what we're doing through this cycle. So burned out by the rays of the sun. So she will meet exact conjunct the sun on August 12th. And this is a day, basically, she gets purified, truths come to light, pay attention to what might show up for you, because truths will be revealed and knowledge will be granted. So August 12th, then she begins her ascent to be rebirthed as the morning star, and her purification under the sun's rays commences her into her transformation as a form of the goddess priestess Isis, who was an initiate of the light. She was purified by the rays of the sun. So she'll show up around August 18th. And these dates are for here in Texas. So you may see her descent and ascent later or earlier, depending on your latitude. So pay attention to your evening sky, the western sky, and pay attention to your early morning sky before the sunrise to say goodbye to her and to welcome her again. And when she begins her descent into the underworld rays of the sun, she becomes queen of the underworld, and then she'll be transitioning back at that time when she's descending, when she's stripped down naked. She'll be descending from fire to water, and this is the waters of Cancer are very nebulous. Cancer is literally, it's a nebula, it's not a constellation. So this is going to be happening, her descent through the fiery, steamy, even volcanic, I would say, volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, these types of things. And we saw that whenever she whenever she was moving direct over this point. Now she's going retrograde over this point, August 2nd through 7th. And when she goes direct, she'll pass through it again. But this will be just like, hold on to your seatbelts, because this is her second of 3 transitions from fire to water. And this time, while she's stripped down naked upon her descent, it can feel extra uncomfortable and very revealing of anything inharmonious that we've been hiding from ourselves or that we've been hiding from others. So truths are definitely going to be revealed. And then August 9th, the goddess of the underworld squares Uranus. So this is a conflicting conversation between Venus and Uranus. Uranus is the god of revolution. And so this is also retrograde. This is the second of 3 passes over this point. So you can, on August 9th, definitely expect the unexpected. You're in for surprises. We're all in for some surprises, depending on what area of your life these planets fall into and rule over in your chart. So whatever surprises present themselves can feel unnerving, but ultimately it is for our evolution, for our knowledge, for our wisdom. So August 12th, whenever Venus is conjunct the sun to be purified, after August 9th, August 12th, that's when she is conjunct the sun as a morning star. So pay attention to any truths that are revealed and take them to heart as blessings of knowledge and wisdom for your journey ahead, to be integrated and then put into whatever new decisions and revisions that you make based on these truths. You can put into action whenever she goes direct in September. So August 20th through the 21st, as she's freshly been born again, but still retrograde in her form as Isis, goddess of 10,000 names. She slows down to prepare to station direct. She'll square Jupiter for the second of 3 passes. Okay, so she's going to be stationed and Jupiter's going to be stationed. So it's going to be like this conflicting square off standoff between the two, which can be careful of it can mirror gluttonous overindulgences to the detriment of your health even. So mental, emotional, physical health. So it's always important to keep our Jupiter blessings of faith and optimism consistent, but we don't want to also throw all sense of reasoning and discernment out the window. This could look like spending all your money before you pay your bills because you're so optimistic that something magical is going to happen. Eating tubs of ice cream until you're sick, just gorging, overindulgences in anything, alcohol, sex, anything. Think of the 7 deadly sins and be mindful of what might come up for you and what you may be trying to escape from. So we don't have any regrets. And if you do, then, well, there's something to be learned from that. So the antidotes to the deadly sin of gluttony are regularly practicing the habits of gratitude and the cardinal virtue of temperance, sobriety, prudence. So to combat the dark forces of gluttony in all of its forms, whether it's hidden or obvious, we can cultivate a regular practice and ritual that becomes a habit, such as prayer and gratitude for all that you're given and graciously giving to those in need. So that is a way to balance these energies out and to keep you in a fasting state, so to speak, during this cycle. So if you are a woman, a high achieving woman who would benefit from a high-minded, empowering sisterhood experience, as we more intimately journey through the support system of the cosmos, I invite you to join me in the Astrology for High Achieving Women Sisterhood, and I'll leave the link in the description below. So we're cultivating and being supported on this very powerful and alchemical journey to be continued so that we can ride these waves of power rather than feeling plummeted. And if a sisterhood is a tribe that feels aligned with you, then click on the button in the description below, the link. And if someone you know comes to mind who could benefit from this video, I invite you to share this with he or she also. So another thing about this retrograde journey, Saturn in current position to Venus at the beginning of the journey, while she's in Leo, he's asking her throughout this journey to be discerning, to be realistic, to stick with a plan, to use knowledge, and have integrity, to follow through with determination and focus and persistence. So in the beginning, she's facing him head on, and she's going to do so again after she completes the cycle and moves back forward into Leo. So Saturn can be stern and strict, but he loves Venus, and whenever she rises again as a morning star, she will be rewarded greatly if she's passed his tests. So this story of Venus's descent will bless us greatly with wisdom, knowledge, power for clear actions moving forward. So I ask you, what story of alchemy, power, and wisdom is up for you to review? What is your new story that you're rewriting to step into? So your unique alchemical codes of ascension are in your own ancient astrological blueprint. The moment that you took your first breath, every star, every planet was lined perfectly, communicating with one another in sacred geometric patterns on the sky. And this reflects your soul's blueprint and your path of evolution, your alchemy and your ascension for your entire lifetime, as well as anything that may be holding you back. So until just recently, only like 1 in 100 or less people were able to evolve and transcend their astrology chart. But now we have the well-known tools and techniques to harmonize this and to alchemize this, and we can use it to transcend into our most heartfelt desires in this lifetime. So I invite you, if this sounds like something for you, to follow my website, thestarqueen.com/services, and I'll leave the link below for your personal consultation with me to book your, you can book a free visioning call. And it's the perfect time right now during this transition, because space is also, it's filling up fast on my calendars. And yeah, if this is for you, let's get together one-on-one and identify any old patterns that may be holding you back. And we can create a customized plan to support you in living your highest soul's purpose, and with the optimal attunement and fulfillment that's your birthright. So I invite you to subscribe to my blog, thestarqueen.com/blog, and you can get these insights straight into your inbox before you'll be the first to know. I do that. I do the writings before I do the speakings on here. So be joyful and much love to you.